This is a Thanksgiving game, team.
It is.
And
This is the appetizer to college football.
Correct. The Packers go to Detroit to face off against the Lions in a divisional matchup, and one that matters a ton because neither of these teams are currently leading the division, and the Lions aren't even in the playoffs. But it's kind of a game you have to win to then try and chase down the Bears in terms of the divisional title. If you lose this game, all of a sudden you're still behind. You're not in second place, you're in third. You have even more work to do. So I think they will view that kind of like that. I'm interested to see how these teams play. Both these teams can be a little inconsistent. It's kind of hard to know what you're going to get week to week. But Detroit is favored by 2.5 at home. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it's a massive swing game for the two teams. Green Bay 7-3-1, Detroit 7-4. They are the 6th seed and the 8th seed in the NFC right now. It could flip immediately. Green Bay wins this game. It's massive. They gained the head-to-head fully over Detroit, and Detroit's chances of making the postseason become a lot harder because San Francisco won tonight against Carolina, and so now they'll at least be a game back of that 7 seed, and if Green Bay were to somehow fall to the 7 seed, it's 2 games back with the head-to-head. Detroit, this is a must-win game for them. I think they have everything to lose. I think Green Bay loses this game. We don't really bat too much of an eye unless they were really, really uncompetitive offensively in this game once again. I can't wait. The early Thanksgiving game for many, many years because it has been Detroit every single time. Detroit is the first one, and then it's at Dallas. And then we've gotten the added bonus of an extra game on top of that. This game, until Dan Campbell and Detroit got their stuff together, was a snooze fest for 15 years. Detroit was terrible. It didn't matter who was playing in this game. This was a game that was on, but it was like slightly muted, and you were just talking with your family.
This really was the appetizer to the NFL slate.
Absolutely. It was an appetizer to the Cowboys game later that day. Not anymore. This is arguably the biggest game of the weekend, and I think it's up there for the NFL. And I think it's eyes will be glued to the TV. The conversations about Thanksgiving and the day going forward, there won't be many of them for this game. I'll tell you, I won't be talking to my mother, who's in town, too much because I'll be watching this game very closely. Shout out to her for driving out. But family that are just getting into town for Thanksgiving dinner, there will be no helping them with getting stuff out of the car unless it's during commercial break for this game.
You'll have plenty of opportunities during commercial break.
I can't wait for it. I think it's really, really impactful. If you're looking for storylines, X's and O's wise, how does Detroit's offense fare against Green Bay's defense the second time around? Week 1, it was terrible. Does Detroit continue to see wishy-washy offensive performances? And then for Green Bay, it's also their offensive as well. We have not seen great performances from Jordan Love the last 4 weeks after we saw really a perfect performance on Sunday Night Football against the Steelers. And so against a Detroit Lions defense that has struggled, especially against Jameis Winston last week, kind of no excuses for them in this game, even with the injuries, where I don't think Josh Jacobs will play in this game either. Of course, Tucker Kraft is still out for the year. Those are really your storylines, X's and O-wise. Sanders, any thoughts before we pick this one? You are the pick leader, so you will get to pick first for our NFL games. You lead by 1 game, soon to change, of course, after this weekend.
Yeah, obviously it'll be 2 or more after this weekend.
For me.
No, I'll chase you down.
Yeah, you're going to make up 8 games with when we pick 3.
Can I go in and just y'all can obviously veto this. I'll go and admit defeat. Can my correct picks count as double?
I
just want to see if I can I'm so bad. I want to see if even with that, if I can bridge the gap.
My suggestion is going to be, if you get all 3 right, you get 9 points, and if you don't,
See, 9 is so many.
But if you don't get all 3 right,
Sanders,
you get 0.
To clarify,
I think I've gotten 2 right one time.
who did you pick between Bucks Rams last week?
I'm sure I picked the Rams, but I don't actually know.
Okay, because we
So
didn't
we
put one in.
Oh.
I'm gonna give it to you. So you had your first winning week of the year.
No. Second.
Second winning week of the year. Sorry, last week. You're 10-26. You're only 6 games back.
But if you get all 3 right, you get 9. If you get 2 or less, you get 0.
He's only got to have 3.
I'm not. Why would I
perfect
take
weeks
that
in
deal?
a row?
Because if you getting 3 right is 9 is huge.
I'm gonna decline.
Okay, I'll play it out straight up then.
Still a lot of football left to play.
We still got 7 or 6 weeks left of regular season football. Actually,
Sure.
I think it's 5.
Not
And then
that
the
many.
playoffs.
It's 18-week schedule, so we've got
I'm really not that far back because y'all aren't
6.
doing great either. While I'm doing terribly, y'all are doing poor.
Yeah.
So I'm really not that far back.
I think it's time for you to institute you just pick the opposite of whatever me and JP
Nope.
pick.
I won't do that. I'm a man of principle.
I think it's inarguable that this is the biggest game of the weekend. The only other game that's even close is Philadelphia-Chicago. And I think that because we've already seen these teams play and that Green Bay dominated in the manner they did, and now this is another game, it's a divisional matchup as opposed to NFC East versus NFC North. I think that this makes this the biggest game of the weekend. And then Bears-Eagles is another fantastic game. But I'm going to go Detroit. I have been very underwhelmed by the Green Bay offense, and the wide receiver quarterback situation is not panning out in the way that I thought it was or thought it would. I really thought that I was low in Jordan Love, and then after that week 1 game against Detroit, I was maybe too quick to admit that I was wrong. I'm not saying now that he's bad, but I was like, oh my gosh, it really is going to be one receiver every week is going to have like 125 and a touchdown, because there's so many options. And that just hasn't been the case. I think that they still have that potential there. They could still figure things out. They do lose. Do they lose Dubs to the collarbone injury? No.
It was Don
Reed.
It was Jaden Reed.
Jaden
and
Reed.
He's very close to returning.
Yes, thank you. So they did lose one of their guys to an injury. So there's maybe that took away something they were planning on having. But I'm going to go Detroit to cover win. I don't think they're going to win by 3 because it's not really something Detroit does. I think they got to win by 10, right? Because we've talked about Detroit and their issues in competitive games. They're more the kind of team that's going to get up and just stay up. But I'll take Detroit.
They won a highly competitive game on Sunday,
True. I don't know. Did they?
They won in overtime against the Giants.
Yes.
Highly competitive game.
Really good Giants team.
Yeah, led by famous Jameis. It's a new look Giants team.
Dude, the Jameis catch.
Jameis in that game had a flea flicker touchdown. He had a receiving touchdown of 35 yards, one where he had to break a tackle.
It was he had to moss the guy and then break the tackle. It was electric.
On top of all that, he had a 50% completion percentage and still threw a very game-defining interception in the fourth quarter.
Tough.
Well, it's the Jameis Winston experience.
Who you picking, JP?
I'm going to take Green Bay because I'm going to back my pyramid. It is also one of my best bets.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Green Bay I have as just a point, or not a point, half of a point dog in this game, and so I lean Green Bay here. Green Bay was higher, a tier higher than Detroit on tonight's pyramid. I guess last night's pyramid, I should say, at this point. So give me Green Bay.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I respect you for backing your pyramid. I'm going to take Detroit. I just feel like it's right that these two teams split the regular season series, and with the kind of injury issues with Josh Jacobs, I don't think the offense has really found themselves in Green Bay's, that is, and then losing Tucker Kraft, they really got to find themselves. So give me Detroit.
Terrible Tucker Craft value.
Bad Tucker Kraft value.